It is pre-dawn, it is still, but it is not silent. Visitors also flock to Middle Creek.
Seems like a lot of energy
for an annual air show.
I don't know how much energy it takes to fly.
Hundreds of thousands of snow geese.
Are they heading north on their migration?
Yeah.
Or are they heading south?
North.
It's still good. They're going north. Okay.
Pit stop on the Lancaster-Lebanon line.
What gets me is why do they all come here?
We had the lake for them to roost on. We're right in their flyway, and all of the agricultural fields here provide for a lot of food.
The traffic jam on this Arctic Express is bumper to beak, and they sure lay on the horns.
They start talking a little bit to each other, like, are we going? Yeah, are we going? Are you sure? Are we going? And then the louder they get, the more you know that they're gonna take off. You start hearing the thunder of their wings, and it's just like, and then you just see this mass liftoff that's just so powerful. The fact that they do that and not crash into each other is the most impressive thing.
Don't look up with your mouth open.
It's really hard to wrap your mind around what you're actually seeing because there's just that many birds.
They're actually flying right overhead.
Typically, photographers from across the globe migrate here to capture this scene. But this year, the pandemic has clipped their wings.
I have the tree on the left-hand side of the frame.
However, Keaton Weaver made it.
Basically showing people what others really can't see, especially since the situation going on right now in the world.
I've had people, it brings tears to their eyes because it touched them so spiritually.
Why do they all take off at once, fly around, and then land again?
The real question is, how long will this show last? It is a limited engagement. A few weeks, maybe less.
They have that internal clock that's kind of ticking, and they want to get back to their breeding grounds as fast as possible.
In a year when nothing has been routine, it's comforting to see some creatures staying on schedule, doing what they always do, as they've always done it. And on this day, the sun made a majestic entrance, and the moon refused to say goodnight. But neither was the most watched object in the sky.
You believe in God again, almost. You can believe that anything could happen. It's just magical, truly magical.
The whole sunrise is going to change. It's going to be a whole different view on the house. It is an old stone house, so they have to be very gentle.
What we're doing is we're moving the Enola Miller house, which is a 180-year-old stone structure. It's the oldest house left standing in East Pennsboro. They dug out around it, cribbed it up, brought those wheels in, lowered it on the wheels, and then here we are today. We're slowly, that's the big word of the day, slowly moving it.
The contractor told me it moves 1/5 of a mile per hour. That's awful slow.
They're moving it 1,300 feet up the street. Where it can be preserved, it can be fixed up, and then it can be utilized as part of the historical societies.
It's not every day you get to see a house move.
History in the making, right there. Just the magnitude of the project amazes me.
It's all done by remote control, which is kind of fascinating. There's one guy over there with a remote. He controls the whole show. All those drive tires, he controls every one of them.
To see all this rock from so many years ago still together, and I hope it stays together. Makes you wonder of what the people who built this house so many years ago would think to see it being moved now. It's like a beautiful old lady being moved from her one home to another home now.
It's been 87 Tuesday mornings without a field to prep.
It's not all about the game of baseball. It's all about a place that people feel comfortable coming in.
20 months since Senators fans have been allowed inside these gates.
Welcome and enjoy the game.
Hi, how are you?
6,187 seats lay empty, but tonight, a sold-out crowd, social distance style.
It was delayed a month this year, so we had to wait an even month longer.
Over 14,000 hours waiting for this moment. It's just 9 innings, 27 outs, a boys' game, but it means so much to those who waited so long.
Feels great. It's been a long year and a half, and it's really nice to be back out.
It's the crack of a bat, the smell of hot dogs on a grill. It all brings you right back to the park.
It's a lot of uncertainty this year, so the fact that we're able to be here is fantastic.
612 days without baseball in the capital city. But now a new streak can begin.
We're starting to slowly get back to the way things used to be.
After long last, baseball is back on City Island.
Happy to be back. Baseball is back in Harrisburg.
Carlisle is a great town. It's what everyone wants in America's small town.
It's a really special place where you can come in, there's a ton of small businesses, and it's a strong community here because of the root system.
Well, walk downtown, and as soon as you see someone that carries their own music while they're walking, has purple hair and a fur fedora, you might just have met Nevin.
He was very caring and very kind. He was also very goofy. He liked to make jokes and tell stories.
Here you go, guys. Nevin was a regular customer of ours. He was a character, a figurine at our bar. He would come in every day and drink coffee, sometimes get breakfast, but always had coffee.
I felt so sad when I heard that Nevin died. His heart failed alone in his apartment. He's just such a loss.
They're putting a mural up for him in Carlisle, so he was pretty well known.
Well, we're out at a mural that's on its way to being done to commemorate a wonderful man, Nevin Lehman.
I just knew him through seeing him around town.
Well, it can't be too much color for it to be Nevin. Aaron just sort of took every color of the palette and turned it into a mural.
I hope that they feel the energy and the life source of Nevin.
When we said, hey, we want to make a mural of Nevin, in a couple of days the whole thing was paid for. People just chipped in, $5, $50, whatever they had. We wanted people to come through town and see who was important to us. We're dedicating the mural, and we're pretty excited. He was the most extraordinary, ordinary man. The only thing I wish is that we had done this when Nevin was here to see it, because he would have camped out here. Come see my mural.
I think he has no idea of the impact that he actually had on our lives as a community.
Everybody should be a Nevin. Travel with your own music, dance when you feel like it, dress up if you have the clothes, greet people with a smile. We just want everybody to be a Nevin. He would have been really thrilled by this mural.
It's always darkest before dawn.
It's more important than ever.
The last 15 months, the coronavirus pandemic canceled so many things.
We still can't have a lot of our normal fundraisers, and we're still hurting for cash.
But finally, there is light on the horizon.
Well, it looked pretty until I swung.
Last year, Joe Holston golfed 100 holes to raise over $60,000
Go in the hole.
for Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Capital Region.
Joe really inspired me last year, so when we talked about this year, I decided I can't leave him out here all by himself, and I decided to join him.
So the pair plan to golf 126 holes in this second year, with the impact of the pandemic still lingering.
Good putt. We knew this would be hard, wouldn't be easy. I'm probably going to be hurting. My 21-year-old mind is not going to align with my 46-year-old body.
46, I'm 18 years older than him. What's he talking about?
Continuing to raise money during a time of critical need.
Like most nonprofits, we have not been able to hold our signature Bowl for Kids' Sake event.
The pace is frantic. 7 rounds of 18 holes, hours spent at Manada Golf Club.
I got some golf being played here, boys. It's like running from hole to hole and from shot to shot, and I actually play better when I don't think. It's amazing.
The challenge? Go bigger for kids' sake.
An opportunity like this doesn't come around that often.
And the ante's been upped. Joe and Brian hope to raise $80,000.
There's a lot of kids out there who need a lot of help. I've got the easy part trying to raise money just so we can help those kids. That's a par. That's a par.
In Grantville, I'm Allie Berube, ABC 27 Sports.
Let's go now. You can tell it's a summer night in Linglestown when Coons Park fills with the colorful jerseys of young baseball players. And anytime there's a game, this man,
I'm helping coaching baseball, Jane.
will be there.
Oh, I'm back.
Meet 44-year-old Nate Brame.
This is my Jane. I'm here every day. I'm here Saturdays and Sundays.
His job is to run the scoreboard,
Scoreboard is his thing.
a thing he takes very seriously.
You have to watch what you're doing. You don't pay attention. It's hard. It's easy for me, but some of the coaches don't know what they're doing, and I do.
Nate started with the Linglestown Baseball Association in the 1990s when his high school teacher at Central Dauphin East, the late Steve Foltz, suggested he volunteer with the league. Nate had never actually played baseball, but he quickly learned to love it.
Sometimes he calls the plays before the umpire.
His mom, Diane, brought him to Coons Park
That's it.
night after night, year after year after year.
He loves baseball. He lives baseball. He can hardly wait till it's baseball time.
We were winning this thing.
And because of that, he still treats his volunteer duties like a full-time job.
He's all professional, all business when he's running the scoreboard.
I think it's great to see somebody just have that enthusiasm. I think that rubs off on some of these kids.
Nice set.
Although the scoreboard is his job, the players
Hold on. Let's go.
are clearly his passion.
He always has like this positive energy.
When you win this thing?
Yes.
Yes. Go, 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 go.
When they do something good, they know that he's going to be there cheering them on. And even when they mess up, they know that Nate's going to say, it's okay, buddy. Next time you got it.
Go, 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 go.
Cheerleader
Nice hostage.
and lifelong friend.
These kids that he helped long ago, stop and talk to him. He still knows these kids.
Nate proves that the real home runs in life don't come from the numbers on his beloved scoreboard,
Nice hustle.
but from enthusiasm, dedication, and service to others.
He's the heart of Binglestown baseball. I mean, you don't come to a game here without Nate.
The kids are awesome to me. I help them out. I want them kids to be a great ball player. Hits.
A military moment in Millersburg.
Attention to orders.
70 years in the making.
The United States of America and the Republic of South Korea hereby award the Ambassador for Peace Medal.
A medal from the Korean people to those who fought in the Korean conflict.
The people of Korea cherish in their hearts the memory of your boundless sacrifice.
On behalf of the Korean nation and a grateful nation in America, congratulations.
Thank you.
For Marvin Troutman, the medal's nice.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But his memory's even more precious. He and sweetheart Doris graduated Elizabethville High School in 1947. He went to mortuary school and then to Korea in 1951.
Yeah, this was my helmet. It's steel.
It protected his head and more.
This is where we kept our toilet paper when you were out in the field.
He jokes about it now. He wasn't then.
And his job was to pull the dead American soldiers out and like leave the dead opposition soldiers behind.
Marvin the mortician had the grim job of retrieving and preparing dead GIs for the sad journey home. Death was his daily toil.
There was thousands of them. It's unfortunate that we lost so many young men there.
But Marvin focuses on lighter moments, like trying to watch Gregory Peck's 12 O'Clock High in a makeshift theater.
I never got to see the end of it because the Chinese started shelling us. And we had to all take cover. We never got to see the end of the film.
But his movie played on. He came home, opened several theaters, raised a family. And at 91 is now enjoying honor.
Congratulations, Dad.
Thank you.
Like this Peace Award.
This generation is old school tough. They never complained. They came back. They went to work. But it's so meaningful for them now.
The party had Bubbly, but not Doris, who died in October after 69 years of marriage.
We're sure she's watching all this. She would have been the first one pouring the champagne, probably.
All that's left is a perfect toast that every child of every service person
Thanks for making it out alive.
would certainly drink to.
Raised all of us.
I'm doing chocolate cookies with peanut butter chips. I bake 4 or 5 batches.
Measuring.
Ooh, lots of butter.
Mixing.
I'd rather bake than cook. I love doing it.
The Yorick's Palmyra home has become a makeshift bakery.
There they are.
For a good reason.
We put all the cookies out so we can mix them.
Jerry and Marty Yorick were recruited by their son Jeremy.
Chocolate chip, a lot, oatmeal raisin, chocolate with peanut butter chips.
He started Cookies for Caregivers during the pandemic.
He called me one evening and he said, boy, he'd really like to get this Cookie for Caregivers started in another region.
The more I thought about it, I said, we're going to do it.
Over a year later, they are still at it. A year this couple wasn't sure they would have together.
All medical people told me 3 to 6 months at most.
Jerry's going through a lot with his cancer.
This makes it all much better.
Jerry was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in 2018. He has been fighting ever since. And he's found doing something nice for others is just the medicine he needs.
I believe I wouldn't be here today if it wouldn't be for Cookies for Caregivers.
This kind of takes it off his mind, gives him something to do.
This little mission has helped me tremendously.
Just makes us feel good just by giving somebody a cookie.
And seeing the joy.
Hello, Cookies for Caregivers
is the best part.
Awesome. It's nice to know that like people appreciate that we're here and that we're working and working really hard for everybody.
And every stop they make.
Well, I appreciate
that very much.
Cookies for Caregivers.
All right.
Is more medicine for the soul.
This is going to really help to improve our volunteer morale, to know somebody is thinking of them.
We come home feeling so good that I crawl up those steps and I forget I have cancer. We expect to keep doing it as long as there's people that'll bite into the cookies. 3 down, 3 to go.
Well, wake up.
Good morning.
You could say Lenny and Michelle Yorth have their hands full.
30 chickens, 30 goats, 2 dogs, and 7 cats. Thankfully, he's retired. I work.
That's adorable. That's funny.
So how did this couple from Staten Island end up on a farm in Millerstown?
I was looking for a less stressful way of life. People out here are really nice.
Their journey here began in the wake of 9/11.
You are seeing the result of 2 planes crashing into both towers of the World Trade Center.
Lenny, a career firefighter in New York City, was on the job that day, joining the rescue mission at the World Trade Center after Building 7 collapsed, knowing he and the world had already lost so much.
It was 10 out of my firehouse. All in, I knew about 75 guys that I had worked with that perished that day.
Lenny stayed at Ground Zero.
It was a mess.
Searching for signs of life that never came.
You had 3 buckets. One was for plane parts, one was for general debris, and one was for what we believed was people.
Michelle remembers not hearing from her husband for 4 terrifying days.
You were glued to the TV.
At home, alone with 4 young children, her oldest daughter finally realized where Daddy was.
She said, I don't want him to be there. Yeah. That was the first time she realized he could actually die on his job, and she was 6.
Lenny worked at Ground Zero for months, his name and badge number written on one arm, his social security number on the other.
In case you fell down the pit or in case the rubble shifted and you got buried, it would make it easier to identify your body. Regardless of anniversary, it's always this time of year. People are like, oh, it's 20th anniversary. I'm like, the 19th wasn't easy, the 18th wasn't easy, the 35th won't be easy. It's this time of year. It's hard for me, it's hard for anybody that lives with me.
That ongoing pain is what led Lenny and Michelle to leave New York after his retirement, 10 years and 1 day post 9/11.
Then I looked at him like, all right, hand me that box of tissues and put me on the September 12th file. I said, for my retirement date. So I had 10 years and 1 day.
Their sons already attended Carson Long Military Academy, so their search for a new home started and ended in central Pennsylvania.
Found a nice farmhouse in the middle of nowhere with 12 acres of farmland that we had no idea what to do with.
Nearly 10 years later,
let's go.
That 12 acres is now their passion, the Capra Goat Rescue.
Good morning, Anna.
They care for animals in need of healing, while at the same time, healing themselves.
Because every time another goat shows up or another phone call, I'm like, I don't want any more. Fine, where am I driving to pick this one up?
We are absolutely a sanctuary for them and will be as long as they live.
The work has helped them to literally distance themselves from painful memories.
Wouldn't change the thing that I'm doing right now.
Finally, finding their version of peace in Perry County.
Every year gets a little bit more peaceful.
Sitting in traffic can be miserable.
People are impatient.
Good morning.
That's why Larry McMillan
hey.
is trying to change that.
I love people. You gotta love people to do this.
With a smile or point.
Hey, how you doing? Wow!
Larry tries to put a smile on everyone's face passing by.
And some people are watching when they ride up to me. They may be mad because we held them up in traffic, but when they get up and see me dancing and smiling, their whole demeanor changes. And that's what makes me want to do it more.
Larry makes sure people get through the construction zone safely, but he's had to dodge cars himself.
Definitely.
Even other hazards.
Bees. I'm up here getting bullied by a bee.
With an infectious laugh and dancing along to his own beat.
That's that music going on in my head. I make it like a little mini concert out here to entertain myself.
It caught the eye of Donna Rowe.
There's always a bright light somewhere. You just have to look for it. And today it's Larry.
But even Larry has his dark days. Over the past 18 months, he's lost people close to him.
Sometimes it gets overwhelming, you know, but you can't let that defeat you.
And he knows other people are fighting their own battles too.
Instead of fighting negativity with negativity, I smile at them, I wave at them. I wave at people giving me the finger. I wave at people calling me names. I smile.
With an inviting wave.
Come on, buddy.
The few seconds it takes to pass Larry is a chance for him.
See, right there. That's what I'm talking about, right there.
To make someone stay.
That makes my day. Knowing that I can make somebody else day. Hey, hey, hey. All right.
It's the boys of fall.
It's almost like a football fraternity in and of itself.
Lebanon Valley College football has something special this season.
We've built a team, a culture that everybody that comes here fits the mold.
But there's one player who seems to break that mold.
When I'm walking out with the guys, I do get some looks like, wait, is that a girl? And I usually kick right.
Yes, Abby Sweeger joined the LVC football team as a kicker.
There we go.
You can tell that she has prepared to be a kicker. Like, she has worked at it. It's something that she continues to try to improve her craft.
That hard work,
a little low. Let me do one more.
Team-oriented focus means Abby fits right in.
I really think the team just treats her like just another one of the guys on the team. It's no different for her.
And fitting in with the guys is nothing new. Before football, Abby joined the wrestling team at Big Spring High School. Then the Bulldogs asked her to try out for the football team as a senior, just days before the first game of the season.
The people there were just so welcoming, and if I wouldn't have had that experience, I don't think I would have been here now.
A lifelong soccer player scoring goals turned into extra points, her first in college, coming against Alvernia.
And that was definitely a confidence boost for me because it was like everyone kind of respected me more because they realized, like, okay, she's here to help the team.
Earning respect on a team of 120 guys isn't always easy.
I feel like sometimes, you know, if I miss a kick, there's going to be someone who's like, oh, it's because she's a girl. And it's just that extra added pressure that you kind of have to get through.
It can be isolating being the only girl on the field.
It's definitely getting easier in that sense for girls.
But she's not actually the first in LVC history. Brittany Ryan kicked for the Flying Dutchman in the early 2000s.
She just broke the glass for me, kind of. That really helped. I mean, Coach Bueller was so welcome to me.
There are still challenges, like staying in touch pregame from a separate locker room. But once on the field, she's just another teammate.
Your gender doesn't stop you from doing anything, and so you certainly can do anything that you're dreaming of doing and go for it.
I love how people are seeing this and they're accepting it and they're looking up to me. It just makes me feel good and it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. We just have to kick like a girl today.
So I gotta go ahead and cut the second board here.
Tyler Barnhart spends a lot of his time woodworking at his garage.
I enjoy it. I like the smell of it too when you're cutting it. I enjoy drawing. I drew a lot when I was in the service.
He enlisted in the military at the age of 21 and later broke his back while serving.
That was my dream. I loved the military. To have it for a short period of time and then it taken away from me was a little difficult.
Over time, Tyler struggled with his injury and depression. The pandemic postponed appointment after appointment, and his pain was getting worse. It was last year when he turned to his friend John in the darkest of times.
And if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would have been at.
John, also a veteran and Purple Heart recipient, pushed Tyler to do more.
He knew I had so much more potential, but I just wasn't putting any effort to it. You know, I just kind of gave up on everything.
Until woodworking.
We started making a flag and we were going through the process of it, and I'm like, this is fun, I'm enjoying this. And that's what sparked the whole thing for me. This is my favorite part.
It became Tyler's mission that quickly turned into a passion, and his business, Battle Cry Woodworking.
It goes from just a plain white wood, some characteristics, but when you burn it, it brings that piece of wood to life. Each and every little piece of wood is different. It brings the beauty out in the flag. It makes it something plain and turns it into something absolutely gorgeous.
From burning the wood to outlining the 50 stars, there's a lot of time that goes into just one flag.
I'd like to do a lot of this by hand.
But Tyler uses that time to think of those soldiers, past and present.
They sacrificed for that flag, that symbol, those 3 colors, red, white, and blue, and those 50 stars. So when I'm doing that, I'm thinking about how this symbol of our country might bring some peace to their mind.
But it also brings peace to Tyler.
When I'm drumming out all these stars, it's me, myself, and it's good thoughts. It's nothing bad.
While Tyler's injuries still cause him pain, he doesn't give up.
There's times I wanted to quit. I kept pushing forward, and it has become so much more than what I ever expected it to be. And I met so many people from it, too.
Like Jeremy Jacoby, a friend he met through the Roots for Boots organization.
It's one of those things, you don't always find friends like that in the regular world.
This is my finished product. It's 19.5 inches wide by 37 inches long.
For many veterans, the flag represents freedom and the sacrifices of soldiers.
I just want to make people happy and make a difference in this world. That's all I want to do, and especially for the people who deserve it.
Tyler has turned his depression into determination and hopes each star, each stripe, each one of his creations can bring hope and healing to others.
Never accept defeat. Don't give up. Always continue mission. If it's a struggle, just keep pushing forward.
If you've traveled Route 34 in Mount Holly Springs, you may have seen it.
The Charlie Brown tree.
The small town tree has become a big part of the community. But the tree you're looking at isn't the original.
This is the 5th or 6th Charlie Brown tree that has been planted here. The original was just a straggler. It really looked like a Charlie Brown tree.
This is a book that I have a lot of pictures in. That's me.
And no one knows the history of the tree.
That's a little Charlie Brown tree. That was an earlier one.
Better than 83-year-old Romaine McCommons.
Oh my, he's come a long way.
She's been decorating the tree for 20 years. As the story goes, the original Charlie Brown tree was a wild tree. On Christmas Eve, sometime in the late 90s, a man and his wife bought garland and put it on the tree. Romaine says another woman started decorating the tree for a short time after that, and when she asked for someone to take over, Romaine volunteered. But the original Charlie Brown tree was cut down.
It was 4 boys.
So a new tree was planted.
We decorated another one. It lasted for a little while.
Then there were some accidents.
We've had cars hit it, trucks hit them. This is the one.
And the stick incident.
As far as I know, some lady hit it. She didn't like it, and she hit it with a stick and broke some of the pieces off. We had another tree put in then. We just kept decorating them, whether they liked them or not. We put the potato chip bags on them.
Soon Romaine was decorating the tree year-round.
It's a Halloween tree. It's an Easter tree. It was a hero tree.
And the little Charlie Brown tree became one of those landmarks you look for as you pass through town.
Some of them stops, looks at it. They take pictures of it. Sometimes people would stop and just watch us decorate it. They wanted to know who did it. But there'll be a day come that I won't can do it. Then I'll ask for my helper.
And for the past 10 years, that helper,
that's why we do it,
has been David Toner.
It's a sense of pride and accomplishment
Because this tree has inspired smiles.
and happiness every time they pass it.
Become a part of family traditions.
Every year they bring their kids as small children and they make them come even after they're in college, and they take the picture every year.
And like a Charlie Brown tree is supposed to do, it inspires.
Anyone that would see this would give them joy, encouragement to continue on. It's something that everyone enjoys.
For a long time, they never knew who did it, or they do now.
On cold or unseasonably warm nights each December, Santa makes an appearance at Little Buffalo State Park.
Have you ladies been good this year? What would you like for Christmas?
Kids might wonder, how is Santa here night after night?
Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming to see us.
He has an entire world of children to visit.
I listen to Christmas music all year round. When I feel stress, I'll throw on Christmas jazz.
Hi.
Kenneth Hostler of Harrisburg is willing to tell us his Santa story.
The suit fit me. Well, I got the opportunity to be a helper for Santa.
It was nearly 4 decades ago Kenneth was recruited into the Navy
I was 17 when I went in the military.
and then recruited by Santa to become his helper wherever he was stationed.
I was already clean shaven, so I glued cotton balls onto my face and for a mustache and on my eyebrows. And that's how we went with it the first year.
That North Pole call became his calling, and like magic, Kenneth even grew to look like Father Christmas. His mission helping Santa determine who in his corner of the world should make the nice list.
We have elves everywhere. The elf on the shelf, they're all over the place.
Last year, the magic of Christmas wasn't immune to the pandemic.
It's okay.
Kenneth and his Mrs. Claus had to make changes.
I take it you want to go first, since you're up on the porch with me.
They started offering special scheduled visits on their porch.
What are the odds of you being good this year? Were you really good?
I got really good grades in school.
It felt even more important last year than any other year that we be as normal as possible.
150 kids showed up last year, each with a special wish.
You know how many elves I got making Nerf guns? I have a lot of elves.
You hear everything when you're sitting in a chair. You will hear the joy. You will hear the sorrow.
Each encounter moving him in a special way.
I can't tell you the amount of mothers and grandmothers that stood in front of our porch last year because we did it here that cried. That's moving.
It worked out so well, they're doing it again this year.
Remember, milk and cookies. Carrots for my reindeer. Okay, I'll see you guys soon.
In addition to the dozens of other appearances,
You guys leave me some milk and cookies?
specially assigned by Santa himself, which continue to surprise him.
You been good this year?
Yeah.
What do you want for Christmas?
COVID to go away.
COVID to go away. Okay, well, what else do you want?
And teach him that even the tiniest hearts
A cure for cancer.
Okay. How about something for you?
are capable of compassion.
I don't want anything that.
Okay, we'll work on that.
The season of Christmas is about hope. It's about love. This is a job you do not to pay your bills.
Oh, you want a hug? Oh, thank you.
This is a job you do to fill your heart.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
And that's what it does.